Good morning po, classmates. Good morning, ma'am. So for today, I will be discussing about the third topic in our course, selecting and formulating a research problem. So my name is Nolan Ray El Cepeda from Goa, Camarines Sur po. Currently teaching senior high school in New Partido High School, Goa po. So to start, so selecting a research problem is the first critical step in any research process. It involves identifying a topic that is both interesting and significant enough to warrant an investigation. A well-chosen research problem sets the direction for the entire study and helps define the objectives. Formulating a research problem clearly means narrowing down your topic to a specific researchable issue. It should be concise and unambiguous, providing a clear focus for your study. This is clarity is essential for designing research methods, collecting data, and drawing meaningful conclusions. Without a well-formulated problem, research can become vague and unfocused. So the following is are listed. The following are the importance of a well-defined research problem. So why is it important to have a well-guided research problem? So number one, it guides the entire research process. A clear research problem serves as the foundation for your entire study. It keeps you focused and organized, ensuring that every step of your research aligns with addressing the problem. Second, it determines the direction of the study. So by defining the problem precisely, you establish the scope and boundaries of your research. This helps you stay on track and avoid unnecessary exploration of unrelated areas. The third one is it helps in identifying relevant methodologies and data collection strategies. A well-defined problem allows you to choose the most appropriate research methods and tools. It ensures that the data you collect will directly address the problem, leading to valid and reliable results. So, next is how should we select a research problem? So, how should we determine what should be our research about? So, first let us define what is a research problem, as was discussed by our previous reporter last week. A research problem refers to a specific issue, gap, or question in the field of study that needs to be explored or solved. It's something that is currently unknown, unclear, or inadequately understood. Identifying a research problem is the first step in the research process because it defines the purpose of the study. The aim is to address this gap in knowledge by conducting research that offers solutions, explanations, or insights. So these are the criteria for selecting a research problem. So the first one is relevance. So in selecting a research problem, it should be relevant to our field. So as teachers, it only makes sense that our problems that are to be tackled should be related in our field. So it will provide us avenue for or easier avenue for collecting data, since it is relevant to what is our we are already exposed to. The second is interest. Aside from being relevant, it should be within our interest as well. So everything, sabi nga niyan, pag gusto mo yung isang bagay, mas madali mo siyang magagawa. So this is also true in research. So the third one is feasibility. So sa feasibility, this refers to the practicality of the research, kung yung results can be realistically implemented dun sa napili natin na field. So there are several aspects in terms of feasibility. The first one is technical feasibility, operational feasibility, economic feasibility, ethical feasibility, and time feasibility. So this only uh, gives us an idea whether our research is excuse me. So it will give us an idea whether our research is how should we say this, yung mas applicable siya sa ano natin sa area. So the next is originality. So in originality, it refers to the degree to which a study or project introduces new ideas, approaches, findings, or perspectives that have not been previously explored. So originality is a key criterion for the value and contribution of research, as it distinguishes innovative work from replication or routine investigation. It involves the criterion of novel concepts, methodologies, or interpretations that advance knowledge within a specific field. The next one is a ethical consideration. So in research, ethical consideration refer to the guidelines and principles that ensure that the study conducted that the study is conducted responsibly, protecting the rights, dignity, and welfare of the participants, as well as maintaining integrity and honesty in the research process. Ethical considerations are vital for safeguarding participants from harm and ensuring the credibility and trustworthiness of the research. So, the next is about the where can we find or how do we find research problems. So the purpose of conducting research, diba po, is to provide or suggest solutions to existing problems. So how do we where can we find these such problems? The first one is through literature review. By thoroughly reviewing existing studies, articles, and academic papers, you can identify areas where there are unanswered questions, inconsistencies, or debates leading to potential problems, research problems. The second one is real world issues and experiences. Since the purpose of research is to identify a problem, then provide or suggest a solution. So we can only look for problems in certain ways. So in this a second method, this is very practical, especially as for us teachers. So observing problems or challenges in everyday life, the workplace, or society can inspire research topics that address practical issues and offer real world solutions. The third one is expert consultation. This is the very easy, kumbaga po. It's easier to ask an expert regarding where to find a research problem. So engaging with experienced researchers, professionals, or mentors in your field can help you identify pressing research needs or emerging trends that require further exploration. And the last one is the gaps identified in existing studies. So often, past research points out limitations or areas that need further investigation. These gaps provide excellent opportunities for new research to contribute to existing knowledge. So, in terms of development of a research problem, um, here are some steps or several steps for us to provide, to develop, to identify an effective research problem. The first one is we need to identify a broad topic. So, kumbaga, for example, teaching strategies. So that is a very broad topic. Ano po? So, we need to identify general problems, in other words, before we proceed to the next step, which is narrowing it down. So, in our previous example, the teaching strategies, we can list down the possible teaching strategies that we want to test out in a field or a certain group of students or set of learners to um, determine which is far more effective depending on the type of learners, so something like that. Conduct a preliminary research. So in this step, it basically uh, warrant us to make a itong system check, kumbaga, kung tawagin natin sa ano. Before we do things full blown, we need to conduct a preliminary research to identify early problems. So we can identify early possible problems earlier than so we can anticipate that we can anticipate so we can provide solutions early on. So the next one is to identify gaps or unresolved issues. So in this step naman, so since again the purpose of research is to identify problems, so in this step, from those that we have listed, we can look for possible problems within that area. So dito pumapasok yung pag-identify natin base dun sa personal experiences, ano yung mga uh, na i-encounter natin commonly na problem. So this is a good step or good opportunity for us to look for a specific problem, then provide a solution. So the next is formulation of research problem. So what are the characteristics of a well-formulated research problem? So the first one is clarity. So in clarity, excuse me po. So it only mean that all our objectives are well defined, and the reader of our research will easily identify what is being tackled in the problem, as well as the solution that we will going to provide, and as well as the data. So very easy to understand in terms of presentation of data, since it should be clear nga po, ano. So the next one is specificity, pagiging specific, kasi mga terms to, pagiging specific ng ating research problem. So it only refers to pagiging specific niya, so that we are only trying to hit a single target, just like the illustration po, ano. So a single target on our problem para hindi siya sabog-sabog, and para yung solutions or recommendations na mapaprovide din natin after gathering data, after analyzing the data, is defining what is the main target of our research problem. So the next one is measurable. So in terms of a research being measurable, a well-defined research problem being measurable means that the problem is formulated in a way that it can be empirically assessed using data, observations, or experiments. In other words, the variable or outcomes involved in research problem must be quantifiable or observable so that they can be analyzed systematically. The next one is testability. So in research, testability refers to the characteristic of a research problem, hypothesis, or theory that allows it to be empirically tested through observation, experimentation, or data collection. A testable research problem is one that can be investigated in a way that produces results that either support or refute the proposed hypothesis or answer the research question. So, what are the common pitfalls? So, saan commonly tayo nagkakamali in conducting or identifying research problem? So, the first one is we try to use overly we're trying to identify overly broad problem. So masyadong malawak. So sa pagiging malawak ng research, it only opens more questions, more doors to knock, instead of just knocking only one specific door. So the second one na common pitfall is too narrow. So masyadong mababaw yung problem. Hindi na siya worth the effort, kumbaga po to conduct a research regarding that problem. So masyado na siyang, kumbaga, kahit hindi ka na masyado mag-conduct ng research siguro, that particular problem can be answered na. So the third one is, this is more on technical, using vague wordings. So sabi dito po, instead of, as example, instead of using the terms like, there are so many, there are so little, try to use daw po yung specific numbers. For example, instead of using too many, say, there are 100 students who are trying to use this strategy. There are 15 students who are failing. There are 70 students. So instead of using terms na will give us just subjective concepts of numbers, just like that po. So that would be all po pala. Thank you. 36 slides lang siya. So before we end, I would like to share to you a quotation from Zora Neale Hurston. Research is a formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. So, kumbaga po if you want to know something, we need to ask. So, as simply as that. But in research, it requires us to, kumbaga, test something before we say something. So, kailangan nating patunayan muna bago tayo mag-recommend, magbigay ng conclusion. Ano po? So, that would be all po. Thank you for the time and opportunity.